Caitlin Clark's Stephen Curry impression. 4 ways the Fever used their rookie like the NBA's GOAT shooter. Caitlin Clark and Stephen Curry share a lot in common. Both are atop their respective league leaderboards in three-pointers made. Both have a penchant for taking deep ones that have never been seen before, and both are terrific passers. Given their similar skill sets, it makes sense that some of the ways we've seen Curry being used by Warriors head coach Steve Kerr are being copied by Fever coach Christy Sides. Unsurprisingly, those Curry plays have been extremely effective for Clark as well. What makes Curry such a difficult player to guard is that he is in constant movement away from the ball. The Warriors run him off a ton of screens, creating the space that he needs to work. They also have him set a lot of screens because one of the best ways for a shooter to get open is to set a screen first. Here are 4 plays that the Fever and Warriors both incorporate those concepts. 4 ways Fever use Caitlin Clark like Stephen Curry. Stagger twirl. The above action is known as a stagger twirl set. It starts with Curry and another teammate setting 2 screens for Klay Thompson away from the ball. These are referred to as staggered screens. Stefano. Instead of using both of those screens, Thompson curls off Curry's screen. That is called twirl action. Stefano. Curry then flies off that second screen from Kevin Looney to catch the ball for a 3. Stefano. Having 2 elite shooters involved in screening action away from the ball is difficult to stop because defenses try to stay attached to both of them. The Fever have used Clark in a very similar set. They have her set that same staggered screen before another player curls Clark's screen and Clark comes off the second screen for a jumper. Flex. Flex action is one of the staple sets across every level of basketball, ranging from high school to the pros. It works well for both Curry and Clark because of those same screen-the-screener principles, which is difficult to guard if the defense isn't on the same page about which screens to switch. Flex action for Clark starts with her setting a flex screen for a teammate to cut along the baseline. Stefano. Immediately after setting that screen, Clark receives a down screen to pop open on the perimeter for 3. Stefano. The Warriors have been running flex action with Curry for years. Kerr even brought it with him during Team Usa's Olympic run. Here's one example where the Warriors decided to open the game with it against the Pistons last year. Curry sets a flex screen for Andrew Wiggins along the baseline, then immediately comes off a down screen from Looney and catches for 3. This is all the space that Curry and Clark need to get their shots off, and it happens because both of their defenders lose focus for a second after they set that initial flex screen. But Chicago action, also known as zoom action, has exploded in popularity over the past several years. It involves a player coming off a screen into a handoff. But Chicago is when that Chicago action runs up the middle, the gut, the floor, as Clark does in the picture below. Stefano. The Warriors don't run this gut Chicago action for Curry as much as the 2 plays described above, but they do break it out from time to time. He's devastating when coming off those multiple screens up the middle of the floor. Yet, get action is a simple concept, but it is devastating with elite shooters. It happens when a player like Curry throws a pass to a big like Draymond Green and runs toward that pass to receive a handoff. Stefano. Yet action is extremely effective for dangerous players like Curry and Clark. It allows them to continue to attack when they pick their dribble up, it utilizes their speed in running toward the ball, and it capitalizes on great screen setters like Green and Aaliyah Boston. The Fever have only recently started sprinkling in more get action into their offense. It has been a killer for Clark and Boston, and it's going to be the key to their success going forward. Curry and Clark are both systems unto themselves due to their ridiculous skill set. The Warriors have designed their entire offense around utilizing how dangerous Curry is with and without the ball. The Fever are starting to figure that out with Clark, but they don't have the personnel in place to completely take advantage of all of her skills. They will need to put more shooting around Clark to open up the floor for her and truly mimic that beautiful Warriors motion offense that has led to 4 championships. Once the Fever do that, there is still a huge chunk of that Golden State playbook that Indiana can and should copy. The blueprint is there, and Sides should lean more heavily